Hey, it's James, Father's Rights and Resources, hashtag how I got custody. I want to show everybody, since I keep getting questions about how do I contact you or call me or things like that in my comments, I want to show everybody how to get all of my resources in one link. So, if you're on my YouTube channel and you take a close look, like let's look at, well, basically on the top of my YouTube channel, there's this all links and contact information. Bam, right there. And if you look at a recent video, if you had a choice, like, so here's a recent video, and in all more of my recent videos, I haven't done it to all of them. James's links an online store, but also here's also it tells you what my online store, my links include. Then I talk about consults, and there's my phone number and email, and I still get people who say, "How do I contact you?" As if, I don't get it. Everybody in the world who has an Instagram, a Twitter, a TikTok, or a YouTube, they put information in the caption or in the description. And for some reason, my gender is so lazy and shiftless, they don't want to, move. If you're on the phone, you move the thumb up and you click, where the description is or the link in the bio. It's not that hard. If you're actually searching for answers, if you want somebody to come and knock on your door and say, "Hey, I'm here to rescue you. I'm your family court savior," just like when you grew up, mommy did everything for you, so you're expecting and feel entitled to somebody to rescue you and this stuff, then it's not happening. So anyway, so if you click on that and go to the link, bam, here's my link right at the top. Who I am, what I do, my address, and it's even easier. All you got to do is put your finger on this button. You can call. It pulls up the number and you just call. You pull up this, you text. You pull up this, you send an email. Right off the bat, I let you know that I've won. Now, I've had people come on my social media and say guys can't win, and in Washington it's a woman's state and all this stupid stuff, and I'm in a video talking about how I won in Washington and got full custody, and you can see proof of my wins. And there's still guys that get in there and whine and cry and say, "This never works, nobody wins." Here's my final parenting plan. Okay, so let me just show you how this works so you can see this stuff. Here's a certified copy of my final parenting plan. Name, case number. You can go online and look at the King County of Washington Superior Court system and verify that this is a case. And then what I do, I even make it easy for you to find the most important stuff. I highlight it in red. Custody starts now before school. Bam. Prior to enrollment in school, the child shall reside with the father. So, in case you don't want to read the whole thing, I make it super easy for you to find everything. Custody to father. Okay? I'm making this as easy as possible. Like I said, all you got to do is move your thumb a little bit if you care to look. Now, let me tell you this. So, when I started out my case, for those of you who don't know, this is 2001. There was no everybody has a website and the internet has all the answers and stuff, okay? I had to search in a phone book, get a hold of first I got a hold of some attorneys. They're telling me wrong stuff. I didn't like what they said, so I hung up. They said, "You'll be an every other weekend dad." They'll say, "You probably will get every other weekend, even though you work at night and the mom, you're available to take care of the kid when the mom works during the day." Goldberg and Jones, divorce for men, father's rights attorney said, "You'll get every other weekend." I went to court and got 5 days a week when my daughter was 2.5 months old. Then I got full custody when she was 7 months old without a lawyer. I got the mom found in contempt. So I didn't follow these stupid jackasses. I didn't listen to them. I followed my conscience. I followed my heart. I even didn't listen to my sister who had two guys who got screwed in family court. Two boyfriends of hers got screwed in family court. And she said, "You'll lose. Just give the mother whatever she wants. Stop fighting. You're going to give yourself an ulcer or a heart attack or whatever." I didn't listen to these people. I searched high and low for answers until about 2 or 3 days into it. I'm looking through a phone book. I find a father's rights group in the phone book. I go to a meeting that they had. That's a free once in a month meeting. I can't remember how long it took before they had the meeting, or how long I had to wait. Then I walked up to the guy afterward. There were guys in the meeting whining and crying like a bunch of little sissies, but the mothers lie and this and that. They wanted somebody to fix it for them. I walked up to the guy and talked to him afterward. He said, you should get a one-on-one consult with me. Back then, he was $25 an hour, and he gave me this much information. I give you guys literally 100 times the information I had when I got full custody. All I knew was that I was fighting for my kid, and that's really what it took. Half of this battle is for you guys to make up your mind and grow a pair and want to fight for your kid and not to get intimidated by the system. You're already getting beat. What do you got to lose by learning how to fight the right way from somebody who did it? So my point is, I searched high and low for answers until I got them, and I got them in a few days. You guys got at the tip of a button, at the move of your thumb up to, if you're on your phone, or the click of a mouse, move the mouse up, click. Move it up, click. You see James's proof that he won. You see all kind of resources and things like that. Let me get into some more. So aggravating. Guys are on there. I have guys on TikTok all the time. Hey, send me a message. I'd appreciate a call or an email. No, you get off your fat, lazy butt and you call, you idiot. You're the one who needs help. So here I am helping you guys. James get 100% of decision-making authority. Some of you guys need to get off your rear and act like a man and grow some balls. So that's why I talk the way that I do, because I did it in my case and nobody encouraged me. I'm sitting here making it 100 times easier for you guys to find these answers and this information, and proof that I won. Mom's attorney signature, mom's signature via her attorney. She appeared by telephone when I got full custody. My signature, a radical feminist, man-hating guardian ad litem, Megan O'Brien Stanley. And then the judge. I was outnumbered 4-1 in court and I got full custody, okay? You guys don't have any excuses to whine, cry, and pout and say, I'm not going to try. I did it, and I didn't have 1% of what you guys got. I had to find all this stuff on my own. You don't have any excuses, so I'm sick and tired of seeing guys whine and cry and have excuses. I'm here to help, and I'm available, but I'm not going to go running around trying to hunt down people in the comments and figure out if you need help and stuff. You call me. Let me make this point. So if your tooth hurts, or you got chest pains, or your car breaks down, do you go on to Yelp and then find a dentist or a mechanic or a doctor and say, hey, I got some pain, I'd appreciate a call? You're going to just sit down and wait for them to come rescue you and help you? Or are you going to get off your rear and you're going to call them and say, hey, I need an appointment ASAP. When are you available? Okay. I have people who DM me all the time and say, hey, I need an appointment. And then I say, okay, when? And they get back to me later. They say, well, I got a family reunion on Tuesday. I got this on that. And they give me their whole itinerary. And then I say, just tell me a day and time. And then I get some more back and forth. And then they start asking me questions. Or they start telling me, let me send you an email with my information before I set up a consult. No, we do consults the way that I do them. You don't email a dentist all the list of pain and symptoms you have. You go get the appointment and you show up. I don't get, it's like you guys want to not try and then afterwards blame it on somebody else that you lost because of system bias and so you don't have to admit that you didn't try. Anyway, if you care about your kid and you want to learn how to fight or learn how to light a fire under your attorney, call me and set up a consult, or at least watch all my free videos and get some of the free resources and links that are here. So let me show you some. So there's all kinds of proof that I know what I'm talking about. My parenting plan, my first win. Remember I told you 5 days a week? Here's the transcript from the hearing, and then I show you quotes of... Now, this time I had an attorney because I was afraid to go to trial, and now I realize that I can do it myself. But the attorney let me talk. He didn't let me talk. He talked for me in court, but I did all the work. I told him what to say. I wrote up paperwork, and in this transcript, you can see quotes, and I highlight them in red. I'll just go to it real quick so you can have a visual. But here's a transcript from a hearing in which I kicked the mother's butt. A guardian ad litem report was thrown out. I'm just going to skim down. See, there's nobody out here showing you their own case. There's no attorneys out there showing you. Actually, this is... Yeah. So each of you has adults in your household. So this is when I first got 5-day-a-week visitation. I'm sorry. So the judge has said there's absolutely no reason why any responsible adult in either household couldn't be there who answers the door. The mother was trying to say, well, we can't do this or we can't do that. The judge chewed the mother out, and this is when I got 5 days a week. So, sorry, I started talking about something else. And then, here's my first contempt win. Got the mother sanctioned, $250. Some of you guys don't even want to try and do a contempt motion. The order was violated. 4 dates the mother missed. There was a 5th date. She had a doctor appointment, so they let that slide. But I still got her found in contempt. Sedaris Wright is in contempt. She has such a rare name. People can probably find her on the internet. Beautiful, wonderful. There you go. Guardian Litem, defending the mother. Mother's attorney. His bar number, 13252. You can look him up. I kicked his butt left and right. He said that this guy advertised that he specialized in difficult cases, and later he wrote a declaration saying that I was the craziest person he ever dealt with and he couldn't deal with me anymore. So here's winning documents, winning in the Court of Appeals, and in another appeal, harder than an appeal. I had a guy on TikTok who said, have you ever done an appeal? And in the video, I tell him that when you go to my link, here's my winning court orders, and including a couple of appeals. My gender is so stupid and dense, you can't hear and listen and pay attention at stuff, even if your life with your kid depended on it. This is why the system sucks. Because dads are a bunch of sissies and don't want to fight it the right way, so it's never changing. And radical feminists are frothing at the mouth and fighting zealously to totally dominate. And we got a bunch of passive dads who don't even want to move their thumb up and down to get some resources when I have all this. Look at all the stuff I have here. Proof of my wins. Let me just skim through it. There's my online store. An explanation of my online store for people who can't figure it out on their own. Ways to pay and donate. I never get any donations, but ways to pay here. If you wanted to donate and you're getting some out of my free videos, if you consider doing it, that would be beautiful. But I don't expect people to. You would think that they would, but they don't. But I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. Social media pages. So here's links to all my social media. And a dad's must see and must read. And people still aren't using this. One of the leading parents' constitutional rights under Troxel versus Granville. Scientific paper, kids need both parents, and shows how kids' brains don't develop. That's why I have a picture of the brain, unless the father's around along with the mother. Here's data on absent fathers. Guys should click on this stuff. Well, let's click on this. So here's a paper from the National Library of Medicine talking about all the data coming out. I would print this out and use it as an exhibit. But most dads are too lazy to even click on my link here and get this free information and stuff. And they don't even look for stuff like this. Or they're searching for hours and hours looking for it and can't find it. And I serve it up for you. Free and easy. And dads aren't taking advantage of this. I don't get what's wrong with my gender. So, here's a TED Talk on a woman speaking. Actually, this got removed last time I checked. Yep. They took it down because a woman is up there talking about how dads are good for kids. This is a 400-page book by this guy about the case for father custody. And he quotes feminists and how they've been having an agenda for years to destroy the father-child relationship. But he talks a lot about how statistics show how well kids do in single dad homes and with dads. This one's huge also. This 2-minute trailer. Let's take a look at it real quick. I would be using this in court if I'm falsely accused of child abuse or domestic violence. But 90% of you guys don't even want to look at this because you don't care about your case because you're too lazy and shiftless and you're too much of a bum who doesn't want to fight for his kid. You care about your kid, but from a distance. You want to be an every other weekend dad and you want to let the mother punk you in court because you won't move your thumb up and scroll up and hit this and find this information that's golden. Let me just show you what it shows. And this is on YouTube. It's a 2-minute trailer. I'm going to skim to the important part. Watch.
Because there are so many incentives to lie in court during a divorce, people often make up false abuse charges. Physical violence and sexual assault are crimes, and our
so let me skip
to handle criminal accusations.
Okay, so here's a judge.
Out of the house.
It may be that, in fact, there is no violence, but they make it up because they've talked with their friends or they've gone to a lawyer who said, well, make it up, and if you really do a good job, then you can get him kicked out. Now you're in the house. You have a big leg up in keeping the kids.
Okay, so here's a video of a lawyer that I would quote in my paperwork and say there's this divorce court clip online for everybody to see, and this lawyer said that lawyers advise their clients to lie about domestic violence. And that's what the opposing attorney is doing, and the opposing attorney is violating Civil Rule 11. And see, here's a free resource that none of you guys are using except for a very few of you who actually care and have balls to fight for your kid. So let's take a look at this. This lady is a law professor at Harvard. She's a Harvard law professor. I would be quoting her in my paperwork to defend against a restraining order.
Violence, first of all, is defined so broadly. There's so many things that can count as domestic violence that it's not hard. It's not hard to be accused of domestic violence.
So this video is people who could be quoted. Now, I have a packet in my store. Let's go to my store. If you go to my store, I have a packet that many people have used to fight off restraining orders. I fought off 7 anti-harassment orders in my case. Okay? So then I have an about here that tells you about my store. Bam, there goes my link again. For your convenience. Whoops, there it is. And then I talk about, the content of some of these things. And bam, look at this. Restraining order, defending against protection orders. $40 for a packet filled with arguments and quotes from countless people about how women abuse the restraining order system. And I have a description there where I talk about it. It costs you, like I say in here, it costs you $2,500 for an attorney to write this up and defend you in court when countless guys have done it themselves. And then there's my link for the video. So $40 for, just one paragraph in this thing is worth $40. It costs you $1,000 for the attorney to write it up and then another $1,500 for him to prep and get ready and go to court. Okay? Got all kinds of stuff in here. Demand letters. Writing a letter demanding somebody, and it's $25 for some demand letters. And I got 29 different demand letters in here. Each one of those is worth $100. I'm trying to make this affordable for you guys, and also not to be not trying to not be a hustler or a con. Like everybody else, you hire and pay for, and that they're a loser, and they lose for you, and you keep paying. Discovery packet, $40 to ask the other side a million questions. Motion for Civil Rule 11 sanctions. I got a video on Civil Rule 11 if you don't know what that is. If you're in Washington, motion for revision when a commissioner makes a ruling, and I even cite the statute or show it to you. You have a right to appeal any decision of a commissioner when they screw up and go to a judge. I got all kinds of stuff on here. I got a parenting plan samples, because people write up parenting plans that screw them over later and they don't have any details in them. Trial packet, all the documents or most of the documents you need for trial. A motion for a parenting plan and best interest of the child argument. These things, literally, it's two $20 bills for arguments to possibly help you win and get your life back with your kid. And here they are in this store that people barely go and see. And it's right at your fingertips. And when I was doing this and making these packets, when I was putting these packets together, let me flip this around while I'm talking. While I was putting these packets together, I was going to the law library in person. So I would go down to the University of Washington. Lived in Seattle. I would go to the law library in person and go read books and open them up. Then have to do legal research and write notes and type this stuff up. And over years, I added some stuff here and there. So you got weeks and weeks of me going and driving down to the law library, spending hours reading books and putting stuff together, and you got it at your fingertips here for $40. That's a freaking steal. But you don't have to get it if you don't want to. I'm telling you what's available for you, and how many guys out there that won in their court case by themselves are offering stuff like this to you? There's nobody out there telling you this stuff that I know of. There's some people out there, if you find them, you can ask them questions, and they know more than I do, probably. There's people out there who know more than I do, but they're not putting themselves out here like this. They're not sharing stuff like this. They're not helping people like I am. So let me show you another resource. I know this video is kind of sloppy, but guess what? If I gave you a barrel full of gold and it was dirty and you had to clean it off, would you whine and cry about how dirty it is? Or would you look like this is a barrel full of gold? It's invaluable. So this stuff right here is a barrel full of gold. You shouldn't be worried about how perfectly pretty or fancy this is, or if I'm coming from a law office with a cherry wood desk, like these attorneys that you bow down and worship and ride their jocks and kiss their butt and worship whatever they say. It's time for you to actually get proactive in your case. Whether you use my paid stuff or not, you can take, I've had countless guys over the years, most recently only a few guys, say they've watched my free videos, or they've seen stuff I've done for free, or barely ever talked to me, or had one consult with me, and they come back later and they got 50-50 or they got full custody because they took all the time to do all the research like I did in the beginning of my case. And some of you won't even lift your thumb and slide up and look. You just make a comment. There's 100 comments in the comment section. You make a comment, hey, call me. I don't have your contact information. And why am I going to go out of your way to call you? Does the grocery store call you to see if you need any groceries? Or do you go down to the grocery store and pick what you need? Come on. And we don't do this with any other area of life. Like the example I gave about taking your car to the shop. If you got a toothache or you got chest pain, you go to the doctor, you go to the dentist. You don't sit there and blab with them in DMs for weeks at a time like a lot of people do, thinking about whether you want to consult. And then when I say, I can't consult with you in a DM, people will say, okay, well, I'll get back to you later. They were just trying to get some free information from me. So I'm going to start blocking people who do that, or just ignore people who waste my time. The guys and gals who really want help and really want to do something, they do something about it. Now, I'm just doing this for the sake of somebody who might be lazy and shiftless and they're on the verge of waking up. I'm like, you need to wake your tail up. And if you care about your kids, get some information. And 90% of what I got is free information on my YouTube, on my Instagram, on my TikTok, and all these resources in my link. But I'm showing you this link. You have almost everything you need in this link. Honestly. Which links you to other stuff. So one more resource. Some of you guys are lucky that you got this stuff. Links in your own state. I got some California stuff on contempt, the rules of evidence with breakdown and commentary. In Colorado, I was talking to somebody over the phone in Colorado. We found evidence rules, and in this link, they got all kinds of case law with the evidence rules. So here's lack of personal knowledge. So here's an objection. Every one of you should have memorized. If you don't have this, if you've been watching my videos and you don't know the evidence rule 602, you don't care about your kids, because this is a basic thing that everybody should know. This rule is violated all the time in family court. Everybody should know this to object in court and get rid of half the evidence or testimony that people bring in court when they lie. But you don't care about your case to get an appointment with me or learn some of these things. So you don't know one of the most important fundamental arguments you can make to get stuff thrown out. And then a lot of people call me 3 months, a year after watching my videos. I've been watching your videos for so long, and they got really screwed by my attorney. I'm like, why did you keep an attorney? Oh, I thought it'd be hard. You didn't watch my videos where I won and stuff? Yeah, but I didn't know that you won a lot. I got all the evidence right here. So what's crazy is that, okay, there's the rule that everybody should know. And then these guys cite all kinds of case law. See, that's case law right there. This link, now I didn't do this. This link, the Colorado folks in their statute, they cite the latest case law, tips for working with evidence in domestic relations cases. They're giving you shortcuts. This would take me hours and hours or weeks to find this stuff. And here it is served up for you. If you're in Colorado and you're not pressing, like if you're watching my videos and you don't put your thumb on this thing and look for the flow link, and then go here and click on this and get this for free, and you never even have to talk to me, and you got some golden information, that there's literally hundreds of hours that are poured into this link right here that's being saved for you. You're saving hundreds of hours by this link, and I'm serving it up for you because I want to do you guys some favors. And 90% of you who are in Colorado have come across my page. I've never even attempted to look for this. And here's a shortcut for you. Because my gender is a bunch of lazy punks and stupid jackasses who wouldn't take advice when it was served up for them. So it's time to grow up here and use some common sense and get on the offensive. So this is simple and easy. I wanted to start off this nice and tell people this resource and just show you some of this stuff, but I keep thinking about 90% of people who contact me who are lazy and shiftless and don't want to do any work on their own case. Now, I can help people do a whole bunch of stuff on their own case, but you got to reach out and call me. You got to take the initiative. I'm not calling people because they say, hey, call me in the comments. I'm not hunting you down on the other side of the country. You got to be a big boy and put your big boy panties on and start acting like a big boy and take some initiative. So in Connecticut, there's some great stuff I found there. Missouri, Florida, New York. I get so many people from Florida that I just put the statutory factors in there. And every single one of you should know the statutory factors in your state. If you don't, you're being a lazy bum again, because I talk about how it starts with the law. Best interest of the child. And this link actually shows they have 20 factors in here, including any other factor. You guys should be taking advantage of this. And this is why I'm talking like this, because I've been there and I worked my tail off to find stuff and drove everywhere and was reading books, and I didn't have this access. You guys got it literally 100 times easier than I did, and you guys still aren't taking advantage of this stuff. Especially in Washington, where I destroyed an attorney with 17 years experience, an attorney with 50 years experience, and 2 different guardian lives. So here's the search tool in Washington to look up Washington case law. Most people don't even know about this, and here I am giving you the link. Every single person in America should be looking at these cases, even though they're Washington, because here's the best state Supreme Court case on contempt, when a child didn't want to go and the mother was still found in contempt. Here's a case when a dad got custody, and based on one problem the mother had, an emotional impairment. If I was in Wisconsin or Texas or whatever, I would say, hey, look at our progressive neighbors in Washington. I know you don't have to follow Washington case law, but you should seriously consider this, because what happened in this case, in marriage of Kovacs, this dad got custody because of this, that, and that. Well, actually, it's just one factor. The mother had an emotional problem that interfered with her ability to parent. So, facts of the case, here's the case law right here. I'd be copying and pasting this into my argument, but some of you guys don't even want to look at this stuff. This other one, Wisconsin, the statute, another place that has case law written into the statutes. So here's the statute and the factors for determining custody. Let's see, where's the case law? I know I saw a case law in here somewhere. Maybe it's in the footnote. Yeah, look at this. It's reversible error for the court to make custody award when the court should have recognized the rule of committee and declined to exercise. Okay, so that's a jurisdiction issue. I just saw something where it says a custodial parent's right to make major decisions for the children does not give up that right to decide. Blah, blah. Okay, so anyway, look at this. There's a bunch of cases and case law in here. This takes hundreds of hours for people to find stuff like this sometimes. Constitutional protections. Bam. Wisconsin is doing you guys a favor. So if you're in Wisconsin and you're not looking at this, you're missing out, to put it really nicely. If it's James telling you what you're doing, you're being a lazy, shiftless bum. You don't care enough about your kids to move your thumb on a phone, because you'd rather move your thumb to find out the latest game, in the NCAA tournament, which is fine, but don't neglect your kids. So my contact information, proof that I won 6 winning orders. Michael Jordan has 6 trophies in his trophy case. Finals MVPs and championships. Would you be a stupid jackass and say, I wouldn't want to go to his camp? He doesn't know much about basketball when he has 6 trophies. I got 6 trophies right here. Now, I'm no Michael Jordan, but I got 6 trophies proving I know what I'm talking about, with signatures from judges and guardian items who oppose me. You cannot say that I don't know what I'm talking about. And I still have people in the comments saying, I don't know what I'm talking about, or they don't like my tone, because this is war, and you got to get ready to go to war, and I'm telling dads to grow up here and fight for their kids. That's the way that it is. If you don't like it, if you're a man who wants to fight for your kids, then I'm not talking about you, so you shouldn't be offended. But the ones who are offended are the ones who lost in court, and they want to whine and cry and pout about the system, and they don't want to look at themselves. So again, my online store, explanation of my online store, ways to pay or donate, all my other social media pages. Really, everybody should watch my YouTube channel, because that's where the most thorough, longer videos are. All dads must see and read at least these first 3 things. I need to fix this. This one's good to read and skim through. It's so long. You have to look at this video. And then if you're in a state, you better jump on this stuff, serving this stuff up for you guys. Now, if you go to, man, where's my, let me just do my link and go to my Instagram page. So I'm going to go to my Instagram page. So if you, this is on a desktop. On my Instagram, I got countless more videos because it's easier to upload and do those real quick. But there you go again. Bam. People in my comments are like, I need to get a hold of you. DM me. No, you call me. FlowPage. We're right back on it. There's all my contact information. Remember, everybody in the world knows that when you have a social media page, like an Instagram page, in your bio is your information usually, or about you. At least 50% of dads don't even look here and just write a comment, help me, contact me, whatever. Help yourself by getting off your rear and actually looking how to contact me and reach out to me. Okay? I'm here to help you guys, but if you don't, I don't want to help you if you can't lift a button. You can't move your fingers a couple places, you know. So let's go back in here, and then my, I have a face. I'm not very active on Facebook. So here's my TikTok, same thing. Now TikTok, sometimes I get thousands of views like right away. This one has 11,000 from Saturday, a couple days ago, or just yesterday. But they're banning some of my videos, like community guidelines violation for illegal activity. You guys may have seen my video on how I upload pictures. Community guideline violation. I'm telling the story of how I uploaded a picture and TikTok banned me because it's illegal. I guess they're saying I'm practicing law without a license. I didn't even advise people really. I just told people how I did it and how I would do it going to court, which I have a free speech right. These stupid jackasses either have a bunch of hater lawyers who's running the show or some stupid airheaded radical feminist weirdos who don't know anything about the law. So look at this. FlowPage, bam. I still got people in the comments saying, oh, I want... Oh, like, here, I did a video on a guy in a comment. I would love an email or a phone call. How am I supposed to call you when I don't have your number, first of all? Second of all, why don't you just call me? You're going to sit around? Are you going to, what if I never saw this comment? Are you going to say, well, James never called me, that's why I lost? See, that's a perfect example. Most men are lazy, and we are our own worst enemy. I'm trying to wake people up and shake them out of this stuff. Because guys who get on the offensive, they slap the other side around and they get good results a lot of times. Now, there's no guarantee, but anyway, so my main point is that, boom. And for some reason, sometimes you get this error message or that it's a dangerous site. You don't have to worry about that. So, bam, you got all you need. You got all the proof you need to know that I know what I'm talking about. And I'm going to make a couple more comments about this. So, you got, I'm going to sit down here. Got all the proof that I know what I'm talking about. You got way more resources and information you'll get anywhere else. If you were one time I looked at my Instagram and I counted up the hours and then I calculated, I have $50,000 worth of information on there because if you talk to an attorney that long, like I did, about information, an attorney won't even give you the information I'm talking about. But if they did, it would cost you $50,000 to sit down and learn all those things that I talk about on Instagram. But the number one thing is if you get a consult with me, you get a shortcut right to the information that you need. Why wouldn't you get a consult with me? I would have done anything to have a James Christensen there. I mean, like what I know now, 20 years ago, if I had that information, like I tell people, my 7-month custody battle would have taken 2 months. So I wish I would have had somebody like me doing this stuff. My stuff would have been over and so much easier. There's stuff that took me hours, days, weeks, even months that, you know, stuff that took me 10 hours takes me 5 minutes now. And I'm sitting here showing you guys how to do it and saving you all this stuff. And people don't even want to call me. They think it costs too much or it's not worth it. I really should be charging more than attorneys because attorneys aren't even telling you guys this stuff. But I wanted to show you my links that have all my resources and all my contact information. So nobody has an excuse. Well, I didn't know this. I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know how to do this, or I didn't have an example, or I didn't know how to write up a packet or paperwork like this. It's all there. It's all here, especially me as a resource talking to you one-on-one. The number one advantage of a consultation is shortcuts. You can learn everything that I know. You can learn everything that you need to know. It's just, it'll take you a whole lot longer. If you don't know anything about cars, you could take apart your car and build it back together by reading a book about that. But it'll take you months or years to figure out how to do that. You can have a mechanic go do that and pay him for his time to save you the time. See, for some reason, we lose this principle. Like, we know how to deal with everything else in life, but when it comes to our kids, us dads just go brain dead. Like, we're so controlled and pimped and manipulated by our Jezebel ex that our automatic default position is quit, give up, don't try. Quit, give up, don't try. You don't do that with anything else in life. If somebody stole your car and it's down the street and the keys are in it, would you go and look and say, man, there's my car. They stole it. Those jerks. And then you go back in your house and call the cops, or you file a lawsuit to get your car back? It's your car. Walk down there, walk into the car and turn it on and drive it home. If the mother leaves the kids with you and say, give the kids back in 2 hours and it's Saturday, if it's me, I'm keeping my kids and I'm taking my kid to school on Monday. It's my kid. I got the keys in hand to the kids. The mother dropped the kids off to me. So why is it okay for you to have the kids those 2 hours and then it's not okay after 2 hours? Because the mother said so? Who is she? Is she the law? Where does it say that she has that legal authority? If she could pull the plug on it by just declaring out of her mouth that it's illegal now, first of all, it's legal for a moment because the mom says it's okay and you obey the mother like she's your mommy and she's your Lord and Savior and she's your God and she owns you just like she owns the children, or so you think. So you obey her and you think it's a law that whatever the mother says goes because you listen to your brothers, cousins, sisters, mom's, uncle, and you think that's law when you hear a rumor like that. Like, nobody does that in any other, like, if somebody says, okay, if your brother's cousin, sister's mother's niece says you can put diesel in an unleaded gas tank, would you do it? Just because somebody says so? Well, there's a real strong rumor that's going around now. We listen to stupid stuff and don't check the law ourselves or check stuff up ourselves. But in the example I'm giving, if what I'm saying is our mentality totally changes. If our car was right there, our car that we own, or even if you have it in somebody else's name, like your wife's name, you're sharing a car that's in both your names, or you get pulled over and somebody reports it's stolen and it's your car, you'd say it's my car. But when it comes to our kids, we don't say, oh, they're my kids. We don't have the same mentality. We have more of an ownership mentality and a protective mentality when it comes to our property, our things. We know how to reach out for help when we got a toothache, a chest pain, or when our car is broken down. But all of a sudden, we're brain dead when it comes to our kids. You act like those are not your kids anymore. Why? Well, because society tells you to be a little sissy punk and to surrender your kids to the mother. And then at the same time, we're such sissy punks that we go ahead and do it. Because we've always wanted it easy and soft, or our mommy took care of everything, or we don't want any drama, so we get scared. Big 6'5", 320-pound dude who's been in fights and never lost a fight, we're all of a sudden scared of our petite 5'2", 130-pound baby's mom. It's pathetic. You need to clear out the fear. You need to learn the law, learn your rights, and not just watch my videos and say, that sounds good, I hope that happens in my case, but do something about it. No, you want to lose weight, you watch a bunch of videos of guys working out, you're still fat. Watching videos doesn't help until you apply what they're telling you to do and you actually do it yourself. All the stuff I say doesn't mean anything until somebody goes to court and does it. And guys who have had balls go to court and do it, and they win or get something better or get something fair. Some cases are tragic because you got a radical feminist, man-hating, psychotic, weirdo, one of those things. I don't even want to say it here, but that's where a lot of them are. And they just hate men. And they want to destroy the family, there's mothers up there, there's women on the bench who got molested by their own dad, or they were social worker for CPS and they were brainwashed to hate men more than they already do. So we just got to wake the heck up and stop being a bunch of punks and sissies and stop being lazy and shiftless and be proactive and fight for our kids. I know I threw a bunch of extra in here. One person complained one time, stay on the point and stop getting so off point and think of something new. Go to somebody else's page who's going to help you. Oh, wait, there is nobody else. So if you're getting information that helps you, like let's say somewhere in this 40 minutes now, let's say somewhere in this 40-minute video, I gave you a map to find some gold somewhere. And you said, oh my God, it's taken 40 minutes to find out where the gold is. Would you care about that? No, you wouldn't, because that's money and you value money. But here I'm talking about something more important than gold. You getting your life back with your kid. And some of you get your panties in a bunch. Oh, James is going off on a tangent. Oh, he's too mad. If I give you answers on how to get your life restored with your kid, why the hell would you care that it's a few minutes longer than you wanted it to be and you're missing the ball game or something that's totally insignificant? Some of you guys need to wake the hell up and stop being little punk ABs. And if you're going to be like that, I don't want to help you. I don't care how much money you have. If you say, I'll give you $1,000 to consult with me the next 2 days, and you have that mentality, I do not want to help you, because it's more taxing on my emotions and draining to me, and more taxing on my health to have to try and give a man a testicular transplant and have them grow some balls. I'm tired of doing that. I only want guys who want some help. Some guys, I need to wake up, and this is going to rescue some guys and wake them up and make them realize they're going to have a come to Jesus meeting with themselves and have a talk with themselves and say, you've been a sissy, it's time to grow some balls and fight. Most people won't listen to me and hear this message, but I want to at least put it out there, like give you a visual. This is what happens when you click the link in my bio, because everybody's kind of missing it. So maybe I didn't make it totally clear. Maybe it's too hard to have a link on there and expect you to click the link and find information. But to me, it's pretty obvious that anytime, if I'm looking at a video and I'm like, how do I figure out what this guy has to offer? Or how do I get a hold of this person? I'll go and look in their bio, in their link, or in their description for the video. Seems common sense, but here I am going out of my way on a Sunday when I got other things I can do, trying to help you guys find my help that's already available, because some of you aren't looking for it or don't know what to do, or you're confused or lost, or you got PTSD from your court case which traumatized you, which is understandable, but you got to get through that. You're in a war over your kids. Either quit or fight. That's what it is. So